whatever the fuck to do. We got my man Smart Guy here.
In the building.
He's in the building, man.
So I want to get right into it, right?
Go ahead.
This is so beautiful because it's impromptu,
right.
It's organic, and I feel like the best things happen when it's organic
yes.
because that's just confirmation that it's alignment, right? And I feel like one of the most important things in terms of black men is to be mindful of how to stop the role reversal.
Right.
Right? There's a lot of black male emasculation going on, right? And I feel like we're not, as black men, we're not privy to how to take our proper place. And a lot of times, I say all the time, it's unfortunate. The greatest soldier in the white man's army is the black woman, right? And since slavery, we talk about Willie Lynch letters. We talk about, the mental slavery. Right. And a lot of times black men don't realize that masculinity is not about avocation, it's about application.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't have to force you to be submissive. I don't have to scream and beat on my chest that I'm a man, I'm a man.
Right.
I just have to be so and put myself on that vibration and then attract the woman that's going to be submissive to my masculinity, right? And mindset is everything. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. How you think creates how you feel.
That's right.
Right? But if you're not mindful that when you're thinking, it goes interrupted. So you have to insulate yourself. You have to isolate yourself. So a lot of times when you go to prison or you get incarcerated, you're insulated and you're isolated, and now you're able to think these thoughts freely.
Right.
So even though your body is temporarily held in abeyance or temporarily trapped, your mind is able to travel, and now you start thinking and you get ideas and you get inspiration that you've never had before, right? So when you get out, you get released, you're in the world. You're no longer isolated. And then you're trying to play catch up, right? And then now media conditions us to feel like we're behind or we're lesser. And media conditions, our women to be hyper-masculated, overly sexualized.
Right.
Eat my ass, my booty hole is brown.
Right.
Niggas ain't, right? Like,
Yeah, I got you.
And that narrative gets continuously perpetuated, and then it destroys our culture.
So I got a question for you, right? Before you continue. Sukiana, right? She was on the Math Hoffa. Shout out to Math Hoffa. She was on Math Hoffa. Right. You was on that platform before, right? She said she doesn't allow her children to listen to her music. However, the music that she promotes.
Well, I feel like a lot of times we hold the wrong people accountable. Okay. Now, it's unfortunate. I mean, look, everybody is in their own level of consciousness. Some are limited. Some have consciousness in abundance. There was a time where I sold crack, right? There was a time where I sold drugs, and I was in the street thinking I wanted to be a gangster, right? So, but I didn't understand that I was placed in an environment that conditioned me to go in different routes, right? So, an artist like Suki, even though I disapprove with how she creates her content, I'm not necessarily looking at her for accountability. Right? I'm looking at the people who distributes that content. I'm looking at Vivendi. I'm looking at Viacom. I'm looking at Velour. I'm looking at Universal Music Group. Right? Like, we don't own media.
Okay.
Right? So even drill, right? Like, there's these companies, these Jewish companies, these French companies, they're using our content like a digitized crack. Like they did in the 80s with crack. They use crack to break down our communities. Now, then they use music, and then now they're segueing into using marijuana because they put synthetic drugs in the marijuana, prescription synthetic version pills in the marijuana, and it's destroying us. And again, if you look at the Willie Lynch letter, that's all you see: women overly sexualized, overly masculine, and men being emasculated. Right. So I disagree with how a lot of our sisters represent themselves in media. I disagree with how a lot of our brothers represent themselves in media.
Right.
But it's an agenda, right? It's an agenda, by the oppressor, by the colonizer to destroy us. And I think if we just publicly criticize each other, that creates more division. We need to criticize them fake Jews. We need to criticize them sucker French.
Right.
That's why I said Vivendi.
Mm-hmm.
Vivendi owns Viacom.
Right.
Ballor owns Viacom. Okay, so those are the Geppettos. Geppettos. That's the guy who controls Pinocchio.
Yeah, Pinocchio.
Right? Those are the puppet masters.
Right.
I'm not looking at the puppets because the puppets are just gonna do it because they're under control or need survival.
Right.
So and now we have to understand, like, okay, this is the game that they're playing. We have to create our own platforms, our own institutions, and then we have to mass market a higher vibrational music. Right. This is why soul music is so important. Right. This is why R&B is so important. Right. Love music. This is why conscious rap is. This is why conscious rap is so important, right? Like, it has to be more. It has to be more diversity, and we can't. We're the only group of people who creates self-destructive and self-hate content, and we embrace it. I don't want to be called a nigga. Right. I'm not a nigga. Right. I don't want our women to be called bitches. We have to stop using the word nigga. Right. And it's crazy because I write my raps now, right? And I don't use the N-word. Right? And all my new raps, I don't write the N-word. And it made me feel frustrated, and it scared me because I was so used to using that word. That word, right. Even in rhymes.
You actually gave that word power.
Like, it's a curse.
Right.
Right? You don't see no so-called Jew calling himself a kike. You don't see no Asian man talking about what's up, chink. You don't see Spanish people calling themselves spics. Right. So why? That's how
their culture is that they adapt our term and make it theirs.
Crazy, bro.
It'll make it theirs. So let me ask you something. Being that that's one of the topics I want to discuss.
No, we adopt their term and try to make it ours, meaning the nigga, the N-word.
That's a fact.
That ain't our. We not niggas, we gods.
Right.
So when we understand who we are, like, let's go back to what I said earlier. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. Words have power.
Exactly.
So everything that you say, I am. Right. Everything that you add on to I am becomes added on to you. So when you say, yo, what's up, my nigga? Oh, stop playing. How the girls can talk to each other. Right. You're embracing a curse. You're giving that curse
words have power.
More power over you, over your life. And if we don't own media, we can't control the language. If you go on the internet right now, you start saying, you're gonna get flagged. Right. But if you say nigga, it's
on Facebook they don't say nothing about nigga, but if you say,
and I don't support homosexuality.
You say certain words.
Yeah.
You say certain words, it gets flagged.
That's because the ones who control media.
Why do you think they're promoting so much, like, the transgender community? Why do you think they're promoting that so much?
There's no such thing as there's homosexuals.
Okay.
That's it.
Gotcha.
You're a homosexual.
Right.
You're not a woman. You're homosexual. And I think we have to stop allowing these people to create more confusion.
Right.
You're a homo. That's it. Right. Now, the reason why you see so much homosexuality being mass marketed is because they're trying to defend against white genetic annihilation. And then they weaponize.
Say that again. They're trying to defend against
white genetic annihilation.
Say what that is, because so many people might not understand.
Listen, motherfuckers got to catch up. This is why it's playback value for this, right? So you can watch this. You can watch this conversation we having. You can pause it and you can say, "Well, what is genetic annihilation? What is white genetic annihilation? Right?
No, you're right.
Why
are
right. white people afraid of our ability to reproduce? Why are white people afraid of our genetics? Why are white people the black woman can give color to any? The black woman can give birth to any color pigmentation, right?
Yes. Salute to the black woman.
And the black man is the dominant. You can get the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive. Term out genetically, right? So if you had sex with an Asian lady and y'all had a baby, the baby gonna look more like Jim Brown and not Jackie Chan.
Predominantly black.
Right? If you have sex with a white woman and you have a baby, that baby you're gonna see the chocolate. He ain't gonna be looking like Elvis. He's gonna look more close to you because genetically you're dominant, right? We are the superior race. We are the superior race. We are the supreme race. We're the supreme race because we're the original race. We created everything, right? But that's why we're supreme race. We're the superior race because of the melanin. Right? And our brains also produce neuromelanin, right? The whole universe is inside of us. So when you see like NASA and all that shit bullshit, it's to keep you looking out the window and not looking in the mirror. Right? So there's an agenda to keep our people from self. Because when we embrace ourselves, then we rule the world. They can only run the world due to our lack of lack of awareness.
Awareness.
In terms of who we are.
Presidency, right? With Trump